Alright, I just got notified that Dutch J is ready to go with his Super Mario World 96 exit run. So with that I wanna give it away.
Alright, what is up, people? I'm Dutch J. I'm going to be playing Super Mario World 96 Exits. Let's go straight into it. Can we get a countdown, guys?
3, 2, 1, go!
Alright, 96 exits. That's all the exits that this game has to offer. So we're going to be playing through, showing off the entire game. There is quite a variety of levels in this game. Some of them are a bit more tricky than others. World 1, actually one of the trickier sections of the run. Most players don't really mess it up just on account of how often they've played it, but you don't have the cape in World 1, which is the most overpowered power-up in this game, so you gotta do some actual platforming. This first level's not too bad. You can do a little thing here at the end where you try to get a good speed. If you get the correct speed, you can get the timer to be on 361 instead of 360 there. It's saving like a few frames. It's not really significant, but it's something that most runners go for. Doesn't really matter. Alright, this is the hardest level in World 1. And I immediately die, of course. It's okay. I don't think I've ever had a marathon run where I didn't die on a level, so it would be breaking tradition at this point. Alright, there we go. Please don't patronize me. Alright. Should be fine for the rest of this. Yeah, you want to walk on those brown platforms as long as you can, because they're moving forward, so they give you a little bit of a speed boost. And if you do it properly, you get a 259 on the in-game timer here. It's pretty easy to get. It's actually a pretty big window. So the in-game timer actually does not count real seconds. It counts what we call game seconds, and they're about 2/3 of a second long. So you always have a 2/3 of a second window to get a certain in-game timer at the end of the level. Of course, in some levels, you can only get like a certain in-game time within a few frames, like if you gotta play it really fast. But yeah, mostly I'll be referring to the in-game time here in the early game, because for the later levels I honestly don't even know what the good in-game times are, so. Alright, we'll see. Here's the first boss battle. I'm gonna be doing a little bit of a claw grip on my controller here so that I can do these jumps a bit more easily without having to stop running. Alright. Solid. 281. It's possible to get in there with 282 on the timer, but it's pretty hard. Here we got a little bit of an auto-scrolling section. Nothing too bad. So, if you've noticed, I've been delaying picking up any power-ups until this level, and that's because the first room of this level is a little bit easier if you're small. Like, you can do it and be fast while being big, but it's just easier, and World 1's not really that threatening, so there's no real need to get power-ups there. The boss is a pushover when you have fire, so that will be it for World 1 for now. We will be coming back here about halfway into the run to get Yoshi's Island 1 and the Yellow Switch Palace. But yeah, we get a nice little cutscene. And a thank you. You know, it's nice to be appreciated every once in a while. Princess Peach generally just kind of, you know, takes Mario for granted, I feel. At least the Yoshis are grateful. Alright, so now we're going to be picking up the cape. And like I said, the cape is busted like heck. So, the cape gives you infinite flight in this game. It's not like in Super Mario Bros. 3, where you're actually limited. in terms of being able to fly. You can just keep flying all day long. Now, the cape does have a little bit less flexibility in, like, your flight pattern. You need to do this bouncing up and down motion. I want to stay at the top of the screen here so I can get over that pipe and get the secret exit. But yeah, flying over levels, there's like 28 levels in this run that you can just straight up fly over, so it accounts for a good portion of the run. Not all of those are straightforward necessarily. There's a few levels where the developers made it harder for you to fly over it, so you're gonna have to maneuver around some obstacles, but it's still possible in those levels. Ooh, okay, I still got the shell. I thought I was gonna kill that guy. Kinda need this. Because when you're holding an item, you swim much, much faster. I want that P-switch, thank you. P-switch is a lot nicer because it's easier to throw and then pick up again. Heck. I was trying to throw it up there and then immediately swim up into it because it's not very fast to go up. Or down, for that matter. Well, I think down is alright, but yeah, going up while holding an item is pretty slow. So you want to throw it up and then pick it back up again and do that like 2 or 3 times there at the end. It's pretty hard, though. You need to make sure that you don't end up above the item. Alright, here we just fly up. This is actually the only exit in the game that requires the cape. There are a couple of other exits that the developers intended you to use the cape for, but there are actually ways around that. But yeah, this is the only one that people haven't figured out a way to do without the cape and without using arbitrary code execution exploits, otherwise known as ACE. This game has a lot of different ways to basically completely break it and reprogram it. The zero exit category being the prime example of that. Being able to beat the game in the first level just by reprogramming it a little. 11 exit uses some glitches as well. In the past there was the orb glitch, which basically allows you to get an item in your item box up at the top of the screen where I have the fire flower now. You get an item there that just allows you to instantly finish a level. And there's also now the cloud glitch, which allows you to get a cloud up in that box. The same kind that you would normally get from Lakitu, and I need to restart this level. I was talking too much, and I wasn't thinking. I had to go up, instead of going under that big rock, because that's where the secret exit is, and I was autopiloting a little bit. It's no biggie. Talking and playing video games at the same time is not straightforward. Alright, we're gonna do it without a shell, too. As long as I don't lose my power-ups, I'm fine. Even if I do lose them, I'm still fine, but it'll be slow. Alright. Yeah, we should be good. I need to go up here. There we go. So because there's a whole lot of levels that have 2 exits, the overworld routing might look a little confusing at times. But trust me, it's optimal. Right, so that boo ring, aka the boo enemies that are in the shape of a ring, haha, they are on a cycle that carries over. So that boo ring there is now in the same position that the other one was when I left it, or like when it went off screen. So managing your boo rings here is actually important. Way back in the day, like a couple of years ago, people didn't used to do this route, or at least most people didn't. So this level was later in the run, and that made it a lot harder because it was harder to have good boo rings at that point. Alright, get rid of Big Boo. So that gets us the secret exit, and this would take us to Star World. We're going to unlock the entrance, but we're not going to go there yet because overworld routing. So we're going to head right back to that ghost house and get the second exit there. Once again, the boo ring carried over from last time we were here. From the second room. Luckily, it was in a good position. And this one's also fine. Alright, so we got past the boo rings. It's definitely... Whoa, that guy was in a bad position. Alright, this is kind of tricky. That boo can really easily hit you. Sometimes he ends up going to the left, sometimes he doesn't. I'm not really sure why. It's probably something I'm doing, but... Yeah, boos, if you look at them, they don't move. And if you turn your back to them, they do move. Classic Mario enemy. Alright, so this is an example of a flyover that's not exactly straightforward. I need to clear some pipes here. You don't have that long, see? Like, I barely got above the screen before those pipes showed up. There's a couple more levels in the game that do that. One of them in particular, you need to do it twice, and it's like the hardest one. You have like exactly enough space to get enough height, so it's pretty easy to mess up. And it's actually a pretty hard level if you're down on the ground. So you definitely don't want to mess it up. Alright, here... I was supposed to get flight there, but I didn't do it properly. Not the easiest thing in the world. Yeah, there's a couple of levels like that as well, where most of the level is pretty straightforward, but it's actually pretty hard to get flight going. Like, you have very limited space. There's some levels where you have to dodge enemies at the start as well. But yeah, once you get past that initial hurdle, then flyovers are pretty free. Right, so in the next level, we're going to be picking up Yoshi for the first time. Now, Yoshi is mostly helpful in this game because, once again, this game is quite broken, and you can do some pretty neat stuff with Yoshi. So once we get into World 3, I will be attempting to show that off. I'm going to fly low here. Get to the Yoshi block, which is over here. There we go. Oops. Don't want to fall down there. Ah. That's not very nice, Mr. Koopa Man. I don't even know if those guys qualify as Koopas, to be fair. Alright, there we go. That's not too bad. Alright, so we're going to be heading to Morton's Castle now. And this is what we've been saving that fire flower for. Because for the Morton fight, it's pretty helpful. In the next room, we're going to be doing Morton Fly after this bonus game, which we just skip. We don't need lives anyway. Now that I say that, I'm probably going to game over, but you know, that's life. Alright. So yeah, having a cape in this vertical section, pretty darn helpful. Alright, use the spring, and there we go. That was a good level. And then you shoot 2 fireballs, and you jump on him, and he's done. So normally you need to either jump on these bosses 3 times, or hit them with like a bunch of fireballs. I forget the exact number, actually. But the game doesn't really handle combinations of that very neatly, so if you just shoot 2 fireballs, it kind of counts as 2 jumps, so then you just need to jump on him once and he's dead. It's a really quick way to defeat the boss, and there are 2 more bosses in this game that you can use that exact trick on. But it's going to be kind of tricky to carry a fire flower over to those guys, so it remains to be seen whether we'll be able to do that. Alright, so coming up is pretty much one of the biggest glitches. I wouldn't call it the biggest, but I'm not going to be showing off the biggest glitch that's used in this speedrun because I'm not really good enough to do it. It's pretty darn hard. Okay, so I am going to be trying to duplicate some of these blocks by throwing a shell up into them in a certain way. There we go, that's one. So now I've duped over that coin, and now if I collect it, there's an invisible block there. And if I duplicate that block in a certain way, I'm gonna get Yoshi wings. And Yoshi wings allow you to finish the level instantly. Oh, I got a wings factory. That's a lot of wings, sir. I kind of need to grab them, though. All right, there we go. That was... That was pretty slow, but at least I got the trick. And we got a block factory as well. So depending on like some subpixel values, you can get that to happen, where you just get like an infinite amount of wings blocks. It's pretty funny. All right, and here's Yoshi clip. And unfortunately, I got kicked out. That's luck-based. Let's try again. There we go. Second try, that's not bad. So again, there's some subpixel shenanigans there. The way that trick works is that when you mount Yoshi, you go to Yoshi's vertical position and Mario's horizontal position. So if you mount Yoshi in exactly the right way on a corner like that, underwater, then... Wait, I don't want to fly. Heck. But yeah, if you mount him in the exact right way, then you can clip inside of the corner. And then at that point, you need to remount Yoshi again. And then depending on the subpixel on Yoshi's vertical position, I think, you either clip inside the wall or you get kicked out. If you do it properly, then you have a 3/4 chance to make it through. So the fact that I got kicked out there was pretty unlucky. Alright, so here we're going to be restunning the shell. Ah, heck, I lost the shell. What you're supposed to do there is hit the shell with your cape as it hits the enemy, or like right before it hits the enemy. You want to hit it with your cape because the Buzzy Beetle is still inside the shell and it will come out if you don't hit it with your cape. It's pretty hard to do. It's easy to lose your shell. I wanted to get something called Sticky Fly there. Unfortunately, I didn't get it. Basically, it's possible to fly up into that ceiling and then just get stuck to it, and you'll be sticking along the ceiling through that entire corridor, and it looks really neat. Alright, another ghost house. This one only has one exit. I think there's only 2 ghost houses in the game that have 1 exit. The rest of them all have 2 exits. The ghost houses are generally kind of puzzly levels. This is one of the more straightforward ghost houses. It's basically a very long corridor, and then at the very end there's like a small trap. So we need to be picking up this P-switch over here. I'm gonna try and fly with it. Ah, didn't really get it. But yeah, that's the trap. You need to collect those coins before hitting the P-switch, otherwise you can't access the door. I feel like that one probably didn't trip up that many people. Now, the first ghost house in the game, we haven't done that one yet. The one that we did first was not intended to be the first for most people to reach, but the first ghost house in this game actually has a pretty tricky puzzle, and I know I definitely got stuck on it as a kid. I can imagine a lot of people did. But what they basically do in that ghost house is they have 2 identical rooms, except in one of the rooms you can go to the exit and in the other you can't. And it's pretty tricky. If you don't know about it, you're like, what the heck am I supposed to do? Okay, this shell is always a little dangerous. We didn't get hit by it. You really don't want to lose your cape here. So we're going to be trying to get across here without riding this thing the entire time. Alright, there we go. Very nice. Flying with Yoshi is a little bit weaker than just flying with Mario. You can't fly infinitely with Yoshi. Well, it's possible. There's a glitch called Yoshi Fly. Basically, if you get onto Yoshi in the air while you're flying, then you can also fly with Yoshi infinitely. But it's really hard. You need to do a lot of button presses to keep the flight going. It's like a certain rhythm to it. I don't know how to do it. Alright. This is basically like a flyover with Yoshi. It's pretty straightforward. You just gotta do a bunch of really high jumps in the right places, and then you get to the end. Oh, wow. I'm supposed to bounce on that guy. Okay, that's fine. I can bounce on this guy. Booyah. Alright. That was a pretty decent World 3. I'm pretty happy with that, actually. This is, like, typically, the place in the run that you struggle to get out of when you're doing PB attempts, because this is, like, the first real difficult section of the game. That level where I used Yoshi to skip a bunch of lava is, like, one of the hardest levels in the game. Oh my lord. Wow, Magic Koopa does not like me. I messed up a bit at the start. I was talking too much again, so I forgot to do... Okay, that's not good. I wanted to go in that door, but now I can't. So I have to go through this corridor. Ah, come on, Magic Koopa. Be a bro. Alright. As long as I don't mess up this section, I'll be good. But yeah, this is really slow without a cape. It can be faster, but I don't really know the strats for it, so I'm just gonna play it safe. Yeah, that was a silly mistake. Basically, if you spin your cape, starting from right when you enter the level there, then Magic Koopa will never be in your way. But yeah, I started a bit too late, and of course, he would end up right in my way. But yeah, it's fine. We can pick up a cape in the next level. So we just need to get through the boss fight without getting hit, which is not necessarily straightforward. I'm not a big fan of this boss fight. This boss fight and, like, the other boss fight in the game that's similar to it. Basically, the Koopaling is going to be popping up out of a bunch of different pipes, and there's going to be 2 decoys, and there's also a fireball flying around. There's just a lot of stuff that can hit you here. Okay. He was in a nice spot there. Oh. It's being very nice. Thank you. Wow. Okay. That's a pretty good let me fight. But yeah, you can get really unlucky and have him spawn like on the right on the first hit, which is right where the fireball is. If you don't have a cape, it's super tricky to hit him without getting hit by the fireball. But yeah, I got really nice spots there. I do believe this is the... No, wait. There's Super Mario Bros. 3 where Mario uses a hammer with a Hammer Bros. Suit. But yeah. I guess this is the first game where Mario uses a hammer without it being a power-up. Yay. Mario lore. Alright. Shoutouts to the mushroomkingdom.net. It's a good website. Alright, so there's that feather. This is like one of the most well-known speedrunning strats, basically. I think this was in Nintendo Power, like when the game was pretty new. But yeah, you can just bounce across these saws with Yoshi if you hold right. And then there are some Yoshi wings that were actually intended to be there. The Yoshi wings, the function they serve is to allow you to finish levels with Yoshi that would ordinarily not be able to be finished with Yoshi. So in the second portion of that level, there's a bunch of ropes that you're supposed to be hanging on, but you can't climb while you're on Yoshi. So the game developers basically put the wings block there, kind of as like, alright, you got here with Yoshi, congratulations, you get to finish the level early. And just to give you a way to finish the level as well. They're in a couple more places in the game. But about half of the wings that we're going to be seeing are going to be glitchy wings, like the ones that I did earlier. Provided that I succeed at all of them. Right, we're not going to be entering the castle. We're actually going to be going to Star World right now. Optimal overworld routing. So I need to get. Oh wait. Yeah, I may as well get this marathon safety. I don't really need a second feather, but it's a nice safety to have. So I'm gonna be getting rid of it in not too long. I want to be replacing that with either a mushroom or a fire flower. It's gonna be a mushroom. So here the developers did something tricky. You need to go underneath the regular goalpost in order to get to the hidden exit. I think the intention is for you to jump under it with Yoshi and then dismount Yoshi in order to get up behind it. But yeah, with some precise flying, you don't need to kill a Yoshi, which is always nice. Yoshi is your friend. Especially given how helpful he is in this speedrun, you know, it just wouldn't seem right to needlessly kill a Yoshi. There are some spots where we do need to kill a Yoshi, unfortunately. We can't save all the dinosaurs. So you just swim under this level. You can die if you're not careful off the bottom of the screen, but it's pretty straightforward to stay alive. You want to slow down a little bit so that these torpedo Teds fire to the left. Otherwise, two of them, I believe, are going to fire towards the right and get in your way. Slowing down can be optimal. Alright, we're going to be heading into Star World. Star World is another place where there's like kind of puzzly levels. So in order to progress through Star World, you need to find the hidden exits. So this level is the shortest level in the game. Wow, that was interesting. Anyway, this is the shortest level in the game if you do the normal exit, but you can't progress with the normal exit, so... The intended solution is to kill the Lakitu, steal his cloud, and then go up towards the secret exit, but we have a cape, so we can just use that instead. It's a little bit faster. And then here's a key, and here's a keyhole. I think the whole keyhole mechanic is actually kind of strange. Like, pretty much in every level that has a keyhole, the key that goes into it is, like, right next to the keyhole. Like, they barely make use of the fact that the key is, like, an item that you can put anywhere in the level. They probably intended to do that, but this game was actually rushed in development, so it's probably also the reason why it's relatively buggy. Yeah, despite being rushed, it still became, like, one of the most highly reviewed Mario games of all time. This game has popped up on, like, so many best games of all times lists. You can probably find a list of the lists that this game is in on Wikipedia or something, but there's a whole lot of them. I think that's a novel concept, a list of lists about a video game. But yeah, I can definitely understand why this game was so universally praised. Despite its flaws, it's incredibly fun to play. Ooh, that was close. Alright. There's the hidden exit here. That's actually easier to do if you don't have the red switch palace. But yeah, it's not the intended solution. You're supposed to have the switch palaces in order to get that. Alright, so here we gotta fly up post-haste. There we go. Now we're above the ceiling. The bottom of this level is like a whole bunch of platforms that drop out from underneath you. And a lot of piranha plants and stuff. All the nasties that you don't really want to deal with. So yeah, you don't have to get the secret exit there, because that was the last level in Star World, and now we're in the first level. Here I'm going to be trying to do something called block zips. Messed it up there. Ah. There we go, that's a zip. Zips are like hard to do consistently. I'm messing them up pretty badly now, unfortunately. Ah, wow, I'm only getting one zip. Hopefully I can do better on the hidden exit. Just get both of the zips there. 243 on the timer. That's not very good. But yeah, so the way that glitch works is that the game only allows 4 blocks to be spinning at the same time. So if you are inside of a spinning block and you spin another block, then that block that you're inside of will stop spinning and it will push you down. And you just kind of create a whole cascade effect of that happening, which pushes you down really rapidly. Oh my lord, this is bad. Well, not a lot of zips for you guys, unfortunately. Zips are hard. They're like one of the hardest things to be super consistent at. Alright, so here we want to be feeding a Yoshi. Actually, we're not going to feed him now. We're going to get the secret exit first. And then we're going to be feeding Yoshi because we want to go back to Star World 5. So this is slightly faster overworld routing. As well as the fact that it's easier to feed Yoshi on the regular exit. Because here you're underwater. And it's faster to just have a baby Yoshi when you're underwater. Alright, so now we're going to be doing that again. And we're going to feed the Yoshi at the end. Alright, so it's worth noting that if you feed Yoshi a power-up, he'll grow up instantly. Otherwise, he needs to eat, like, 5 enemies. So we're going to give him that mushroom here. This is why I wanted to get rid of the cape, because the cape falls down really slowly and in an awkward pattern, so it's way harder to feed it to Yoshi. We'll be replacing that power-up, hopefully, once we get to the special world, which is where we're going to be going next. So that's where the secret exit on Star World 5 leads. Let's see if we can do this level without messing it up too bad. There we go, okay. So Blue Yoshi is also pretty busted, because no matter what kind of Koopa shell he eats, he always gets wings. And wings are pretty good. Wings have more maneuverability than just the cape does, so there's a couple of levels where having those, like, Koopa shell wings is really helpful with Blue Yoshi in particular. Alright, so here we're going to be trying to do some more block dupes in order to get Yoshi wings. The wings that actually end the level, not these. Okay, that's one. And that's two, nice. Now I gotta wait for this to unspin, then collect the coin, and hit the block. There we go. And then the next level also has a wings dupe. This one's a little bit tricky, though. I might mess it up, and then I'll have to do a backup. Okay. That's good. Now I need to scroll the screen. Right, there we go. Yeah, that's the level that you usually see the block factory on. It's like pretty common to get a block factory there. Yeah, that one's pretty hard. You need to jump at exactly the right time from the spring while ducking so that you end up right underneath the block, but you don't hit it. And here are some intended wings. Yeah, and then you gotta throw the P-switch up in between the blocks. And then if you get bad luck, you need to scroll the screen a bit in order to actually get the dupe. Yeah, normally, like, casually, you gotta use a P-balloon and stuff. It's really, really heckin' slow. Alright, that is called Awesome Flower. It's pretty hard. You need to spit out the shell, grab the flower, and eat the shell immediately again. Otherwise, you won't be able to fly anymore. And you really want to be able to fly in this level because, I mean, you were seeing all that crap I was flying over. That level is not easy to get through. There's all those cheeps flying up at you from below. Very easy to get hit by them. And then there's the bullet bills. It's not a fun time. Right, then this is kind of a breather level. This level actually has some stuff up in the air that kind of prevents you from just flying over it. So we need to fly under that. I'm going to be flying pretty low here while dodging these flowers and pokies. Alright. Here we can go up for a bit. Then we gotta go down again. Alright. Yeah, not a particularly hard level. You can get the fire flower in that level as well. It's slightly faster to get it in Awesome. And you can also do a trick called a boss kill in that level. So, I've talked about getting certain... oh, that's not good. Okay, we're fine. I should need to kill that guy. Ah. There we go. So yeah, we don't need Yoshi anymore for a while, so we're just gonna leave him here. He's in his element. We got him out of the water in Star World 2, so we're gonna leave him in the water. I think he'll like it here. But yeah, you can do a trick called a boss kill, and it's kind of similar to those other glitches where you get something in your item box that you're not supposed to. But what you're creating is a literal boss that you can kill with fireballs. So you basically create a boss close to the start of the level and then just kill it with fireballs and it ends the level and saves time. It's really crazy. It's also really hard to do. It's got like at least one frame perfect inputs and then some other stuff that's like really tricky to pull off. So yeah, once again, it's a trick that I do not know. There's so much, like, so many strange tricks in this game. The ones that I'm showing off are mainly the ones that have been around for a longer amount of time. The boss skills are relatively new. I think they were discovered in the past 2 years. I mean, people have been speedrunning this game for pretty much as long as it exists, so it's got a pretty rich history. Even before modern speedrunning. So this is another level where they put some crap up in the sky. There you can see I bumped my head on it. That's in order to try and keep you from flying over the level. So there's some pipes here that you want to fly over. Focus. Okay, there we go. It's not too bad if you fall down here, but it's still annoying, so... Oh, yeah, and here the game lies to you. You are a super player. That's actually fixed in the English version. They fixed the grammar. They put the word in the sentence. Alright, that was Special World. Those were pretty much the hardest levels in the game, trivialized by the cape and glitches. I say trivialized, but, you know, a bunch of the stuff that I did there is pretty hard to do, so I'm satisfied with how that went. And that warps you back to Yoshi's Island, and it changes some things about the game. So the overworld is now really weird colors. Like all the grass is turned red and stuff. Chocolate Island's gonna be like green. It's gonna be like Mint Island. So all the colors are messed up, and there you can see a piranha plant is now a pumpkin, or like a jack-o'-lantern. And there's a couple more enemies that'll have changed. The bullet bills have become birds, or pidgeots, as they're called, and the Koopas now wear masks instead of shells. And this is actually interesting because the masked Koopas, they actually have different colors. So Koopas which were red before are now going to be blue, which is helpful in a few places because, as we know, blue Koopas can give Yoshi wings. Wow, how do I keep getting duck flying there? That's... Seriously, that's frame perfect, and I've done it in both Switch Palaces where I get a duck fly. Also, mandatory quack for the duck fly. Shoutouts to Steven or Sten. Honestly, I don't even know what he prefers to go by these days. Changed his Twitch name to Sten. But yeah, he's a really good player of this game. He's held the world record in this category, and he's currently grinding for it again. He recently got some PBs. But yeah, he's a cool dude. Very good at this game. Alright. So yeah, like the duck fly, that's frame perfect. And whenever you're in a Switch Palace, there's also something you can do called a jump, which is basically jumping off of the Switch while you hit it. It's just for swag, it doesn't save any time. So I'm trying to get a jump in this run. We'll see if I can get one. There's still 2 more Switch Palaces left. Actually, yeah, there's 2. I'm having some trouble counting. Alright, this is kind of the resident sleeper part of the run, because there's a bunch of auto-scrollers. This is a pretty long auto-scroller, and we need to do it twice. Unfort. So, yeah, this is usually kind of considered the breather moment in the run, once you get out of special, and until you get to Ludwig's Castle, or Castle 4. There's a bunch of flyovers and a bunch of auto-scrollers, neither of which are particularly challenging, but they can catch you off guard if you're not careful, so I'm gonna try not to let my focus wane. This level in particular, if you're just autopiloting and hugging the right side of the screen, you might get hit by some enemies. And I don't want to lose my fire flowers, so... Okay, I'm gonna be trying that again, but basically I want to get flight there and then go in this pipe and do something called pipe fly. So when you start to fly in this game, there's actually a certain amount of time where you can like gain height, and then you start to go in like the free flying mode where you can fly infinitely. So if you enter a pipe or a door while you still have some time left to go up, then you can fly out of the pipe or a door. Alright, no jump. We only have one more chance. Hopefully I'll be able to get it in the blue Switch Palace. Green Switch is a nice switch because green blocks contain feathers. So there's going to be backup capes for me to get in a bunch of places. Oh, wow, that was my 100th coin. Neat. Are you... Wow, okay, that's fine. I'm baffled that I got hit by that. Oh, there's going to be 2 guys here now. Oh, that's actually fine, because it means I can kill them. Okay, there's a cape later on here, and we didn't lose the fire flower, so we're good. There we go. That's just a really silly way to get damaged. This is what I mean by getting caught off guard by these levels. Like, it's so easy to just be like, oh, it's an auto-scroller, and then you lose your power-up, and you're like, heck. Losing time. Well, losing 1 power-up here doesn't lose time yet, but... I've seen some runners kill runs on these levels. Whoa, that's weird. Ah, man, didn't get to show off the pipe fly here. That's unfortunate. I practiced that quite a bit, actually, and I was really consistent at it, but, you know, that's how it goes, I guess. Whoop, get in the pipe, Mario. Don't be shy now. The fact that they put a blue shell there is actually interesting. That's basically a way for you to get up to the secret exit while riding on Yoshi. Which I think is pretty cool that they did that. Because you can just eat the shell through those blocks. Yoshi's tongue goes through solid objects. Alright, so now we're doing the normal exit here. And we're just gonna fly up. We don't need to solve no puzzles. We can fly. Alright, that finishes up World 2. Now I gotta finish up World 3. I'm gonna get the normal exit here. I'm gonna try and get something called Red Block Thing. It's a very descriptive name. I think that's good. Ah, no, I'm too high. So you can go, like, right in between the pipe and the red block and then immediately fly off of it. And that's what they call Red Block Thing. It's like one of those tricks that's like kind of difficult and it's satisfying to get, but it didn't really have a good name, so they just called it Red Block Thing because it involves a red block. Wow, okay. That was definitely interesting. There's another cape up here, I think. So we'll be fine. There it is. This level's pretty difficult, actually. Alright. The hidden exit is here. I'm noticing that I keep alternating between calling them hidden and secret exits. I'm gonna be playing Super Mario Sunshine later, and yeah, that game has both hidden and secret shines, and they're actually distinctly different things in that game. But yeah, in this game, you can kind of call them either, and people will understand what you're talking about. Yeah, I am not doing very well at this level. That's fine. So yeah, ideally you want to like fly all the way up this level, but it's pretty hard. You need to like juggle that shell and use it to kill the flying Koopas that are in the way. Then you need to get rid of it without losing your speed. It's pretty hard. Unfortunately, not able to show it off there, but oh well. Alright, this is another pretty boring section. There's a couple of flyovers here. Wow. Pressed B a little bit too early. Yeah, you don't want to fly too high here, because later on in the level there's going to be parachuting enemies coming down from the top. So you can get hit by them if you fly at the top of the screen. There they are, the bob-ombs. Alright. Okay, so next up is another flyover, then a water level with a boss fight, so at least it's got something that's a little bit interesting. It's actually a boss that we haven't seen yet either, so that won't be too bad. But yeah, and then there's the longest auto-scroller in the game. Fortunately, we only have to play that one once. Wow. That's not good. Okay, we can get flight here. Man, the butterflies. The dolphins, I don't know how I confused those two. Anyway, the dolphins are supposed to be your friends, but they messed me up there. Yeah, that's how you mess up a flyover, in case anyone was wondering. Can tell Captain's in the audience.
Yeah.
Love that guy. Anyway. Yeah, this is a underwater castle. It's actually quite interesting. Could someone, like, take that plushie out of my neck? Thank you. Alright. There's actually a few tricky spots here, like flying underneath this fishbone. They're literally called fishbones. I'm not making that up. know if they're also called fish bones in Japanese, because I'm actually playing on the Japanese version. The reason to play on Japanese is that the save boxes are actually faster. Wow, that's a really bad fireball. Thanks for that, Reznor. Okay. We're fine, didn't lose any power-ups. It's okay to lose your cape here. There's a cape in the auto-scroller, so getting that basically doesn't lose any time. You want to keep your fire flower, though, for the upcoming boss fight. Alright, so here's that long auto-scroller, that big boy. This is not the most exciting point in the run, but after this, like, there's pretty much no more boring sections in the run anymore. There will be a couple more flyovers, but they're all, like, pretty isolated. And there's mostly going to be levels where there's actually stuff going on. Especially, like, towards the very end of the game. Second half of the run is really where Super Mario World shines, in my opinion. It's got so many cool levels. This auto-scroller is, like, kinda novel, you know, with, like, these moving platforms and stuff, and they actually kind of require you to bounce on enemies, which is not something that they do a whole lot in this game. Like, it's something that you can do in a bunch of places in order to make certain jumps easier, but they almost never require you to jump on enemies. Here they do. So yeah, that question mark block there, that's got a flower, or not a flower, a cape, a feather, whatever you want to call it. But we won't be needing that. We want to keep that fire flower. You can dance a little bit in this level, make it more fun. Alright, so here's more enemies. Just gonna do that. And there's the pipe. I like how they just give you, like, one last jump there, you know. Just one more chance to die after having to sit through that entire long thing. But yeah. The cape is nice. It allows you to recover from a lot of things. Alright. So here's actually a level where we don't want to fly too low, because there's going to be a whole bunch of those Super Koopas flying around. You're never going to be quite sure if you're going to land on solid ground if you hit one of these guys. So you gotta be a little careful. But with that, we are done with that section of the run, and we will be going into Castle 4 and then into the Forest of Illusion. The Forest of Illusion has a couple more Yoshi clips. There's also a wings dupe that you can do there, but it barely saves any time and it's pretty hard, so I don't do it. Oh, I messed that up a little bit. You don't want to grab that mushroom because you'll lose your fire flower. It's in a pretty stupid spot. There's actually a bonus game inside this castle. It's not faster to use it, though. Doesn't allow you to skip anything. Wow, okay. Let me think. There is a feather in this room down here. So I'm just gonna grab that. It's not fast, but I'd rather have the feather going into the next level. Wow, okay, never mind. We're gonna have to get it in the next level. It's fine. Please, I told you not to patronize me. Come on. Alright, there we go. So, quick kill on that boss. We're just gonna have to take it a little bit slow at the start of the next level. But yeah, that's one of those rooms where if you mess up and have to improvise, it's like, okay, what the heck am I doing? You're like, you're not used to the Koopas being in different positions and such. But yeah. I kept my Fire Flower, which I'm mostly happy with. If I can keep it throughout the Forest of Illusion, then I'll be extremely happy. So there's one more boss in the Forest of Illusion that we want that Fire Flower for, and then we don't need it anymore. Then we're going to be going Cape all the way, all day, every day. Alright. I used to know how to do this first section without a cape, but haven't done it in a while. Alright, I'll be able to pick up a cape over here. And I can also lose my Yoshi. That's not good. Alright, I'll just finish the level and then pick up Yoshi afterwards. I need Yoshi because I'm going to be doing a Yoshi clip. But yeah, it doesn't take too long to go back in and get Yoshi, so it's fine. Power-up management is by far the hardest thing about this run, and it's the thing that loses you the most time. Like, generally, the mistakes themselves don't lose too much. I mean, you get booted out of the level, but the levels are pretty short. But having to go back and get power-ups because you need them for certain strats, or just because you don't know how to do the levels without power-ups, that's a real killer. There are some runners who know like all the capeless strats as well, which I consider very impressive. I've done a little bit of capeless speedruns of this game, but not enough to really know those strats by heart. Ah, dang, I hit the 25% chance again. Oh, wow. Surprised I messed that up. Well, now I'm not on 25% chance to get messed up anymore because... Okay, I should probably do this. Come on. So, like, when you're doing the trick normally, you can manipulate Yoshi's subpixel, but once you, like, mess up like I just did, then there's no way to do that anymore.
Do we maybe have some time for donations?
Sure.
Alright, we got a €5 anonymous donation. It says, let's start with €5. Hopefully there are more to come from chat. Greetings from Germany. And also we have a €5 donations from Sugo Kawaii with no comments. And with that I do want to say, every donation that's €5 or more will be eligible to win 1 of 10 Action Hank Steam keys, donated by us to us by True Black Shark.
Alright, we got the Yoshi clip. Final Switch Palace. Let's see if we can get that freaking Yump or not. 1 out of 4, not the greatest success rate, but it'll be better than 0 out of 4. Ah, no Yumps. We're not gonna reset over Yumps. It's tempting, but no, we have a schedule to keep. Alright, now we're gonna be getting the secret exit in this level. Oh, wow. I wanted to do something funny there, but it didn't work. Maybe I'll be able to do it later. I won't spoil what it is. Alright, this ghost house. We skip a large portion of it because there's a wall here. You're supposed to go through a door and that takes you behind the wall, but you can also just fly over it. Like so. And then both of the exits are behind here. We're gonna be going to the second one. There we go. And then we're gonna be going back to Force of Illusion 2. Do that Yoshi clip again. Hopefully we'll get it first try this time. Because that first one was horrendous. Ah, heck. Ah, come on. This game really doesn't like me. Wow. Come on. Wow, I'm messing this up really bad. I was getting this like every time in practice too. This trick is truly a harsh mistress. Come on. It would have been faster to just not do the trick at this point, I think. Heck that fish. That's too early. It's not gonna work. Thank you. Alright, wow. Those were really rough Yoshi clips. At least it went decently well in Vanilla Dome. So, you know, I've got that, but yeah. I think I lost like a minute on those Yoshi clips together. It's really not good. Alright, and then we just carry the key to the regular exit. The next level kind of has a little bit of a meme associated with it. There's a bubble at the start, and way back in the day, people used to think that there was like a 1 or 2 frame window to get flight before hitting that bubble, but it's actually like 6 frames or something, which makes it pretty easy. They call it Dirty Bubble. Now, a few levels from now, there's going to be a different enemy that I think deserves the name of Dirty way more than that bubble. Because I think it's harder to take off before that enemy than it is for that bubble. But yeah, the rest of this is just a straightforward flyover.
Do we have time for some donations in that case?
Sure.
Alright, we got a €5 donation from Xander saying, "Hi Dude J, good luck friend," with a smiley face behind it.
Thank
And
you,
we've got
Xander.
€10 from RDV versus the world saying, "Oh mama."
I agree. Alright. Gotta do this level again. It's like exactly the same. We're just gonna go in the other door. There we go. Alright, now we're going to be heading towards another entrance into Star World. Require us to get the secret exit in this level.
Got time for one donation?
Go ahead.
We got €3.50 from Emmy saying, "Hello."
Hello. Alright. Don't throw the key in the pit. Alright, very good. It's actually never happened to me, but I know someone that it's happened to. And that's a feels bad man right there. Ooh, okay. That was kind of close. So that's one of those levels where you need to be pretty tight on the buttons to actually get flight. Oh, oops. I forgot you can go over the goal here. Yeah, that level's extremely nauseating when you're flying through it, so thankfully it's pretty short. It's like the second shortest level, I think, after Star World 3. Alright, so now we're going to be going to that fortress. The first room of this fort is, unfortunately, an auto-scroller. Let's see if I can do something neat here, though. Alright, we're going to fly against the left part of the screen. That allows us to clip through these death devices. I don't know what to call them, really. Stompers. Yeah, it's like a nice way to dodge the buzzsaws as well, for the most part. They're not terribly hard to dodge, but you don't really want to take any chances. You don't want to lose your cape. That's no bueno. Get that bounce. Alright, good. Reznor. Wow, I cannot believe I did not get hit there. That was kind of crazy. What even are the hitboxes in this game? Seriously, did you see? I can't believe that. All right, well, we got lucky, I suppose. Definitely not going to claim that that was all skill. All right. All right, let's go. Alright, so we do have 2 flyovers here before we get to the boss. Bonk. Hate that guy. Alright. Oh, whoa, I forgot about that guy. Ooh. Let's not. Alright. Made it! Yeah, that's like pretty rare. I knew that that was a thing in that level, but I just wasn't thinking about it. Yeah, that Koopa goes high. Alright. That'll be it for the Forced Evolution. We just gotta get the secret exit here, which is like right at the end of the level, so it's basically a flyover. Sounded actually interesting. You need to be big in order to get this secret exit. If you're small Mario, then you can't get it unless you use some objects to clip through the wall, which is possible, but obviously not intended. So here you need to break the turn blocks, which you need to be big to do. Alright. So long, Forest of Illusion. I will not miss you. Alright. See if we can get Roy Fly. Normally this is like a really slow auto-scrollery section where you need to ride that like line of blocks. But if you maneuver around the fireballs, you can fly through the whole place. There we go. If that thing had shot a fireball, I would have gone hit. Oh well. We made it. It's pretty solid, Roy. That's always a really satisfying level to play, just flying through the place. Giving a big middle finger to the game designers. I'm not gonna sit through this crap. And then the boss fight as well with the fire flower. Oh, Super Mario World. Oh, rip Mario. You know, it would have been funny if you actually lost a life in this cutscene. Fortunately, it's not a thing, but that would be funny. Get a game over after you beat the boss. Because the save prompt's not until here. That would be really mean. Mario obviously not trained in the way of demolition safety.
Do we have time for some donations?
Sure, we're flying.
Alright, I've got €3 from Torchman saying, comfy chat. Here's a snug. And I can confirm that chat is very comfy.
Dang. I wish I was in chat.
In memory, you are.
In memory? Wow, am I dead?
Wow.
TIL. Yeah.
Awesome.
It's a big mood right there. Whoa, that's not good. That's not good at all. Ah! Alright, we're fine. There's a cape here. It's just a little bit annoying, because now I gotta dodge this dude. And these dudes. Alright, we're good. Yeah, that's tricky. There's some obstacles above the roof of the level there once again, so you can't just fly as high as you want and still be able to dodge the boo. So you got to try and fly kind of low. And then I dropped an input and ended up too low. But yeah, luckily there's a cape in that room. Alright, this is actually a very interesting level. It's another kind of a puzzle level. But yeah, depending on certain things that you do, like how many enemies you beat, how many coins you collect, how fast you're going, you get different rooms. So we want to get the secret exit, and in order to get the secret exit, we need to finish the second room before the timer hits 249, which is pretty straightforward, especially if you have the cape. But yeah, that's how you get the secret exit, and I'll be showing off a few more intricacies of that level when we return there for the regular exit. Alright. This level has kind of a trap start. It's just lava right there. Oh, that's bad. I was supposed to grab that first enemy. Ah, okay. I don't need the fire flower. I just hope I don't die. I can grab 2 capes in the next level, so... Dude, that's not very nice. Yeah! Come on. That's mean-spirited game. It's like, I wanted to get a mushroom there by getting the midway tape. Unfortunately, the game did not agree. Whoa. This is not a fun level to do without cape. Okay, we should be good now. Alright. There we go. No biggie.
People are asking if this is Dark Souls.
It's not Dark Souls, but it's probably harder than Dark Souls.
You died.
Alright, let's see if I can do this. Oh, I can't. I did used to know how to do this this room without a cape, but it's pretty hard. You need to know specifically the jumps there to dodge those enemies. So we're just gonna take it a bit slow here. Ooh. Those slopes are kind of tricky at the end there, yeah. It's fine. We're good. Alright, so now we're going to be heading back to Chocolate Island 2. That pipe leads straight to the castle. So it's a really nice shortcut for this world. Alright, so now we want to collect a bunch of coins. Because if you collect a lot of coins here, then you get a room that has a free cape in it. Dragon coins also count, and the dragon coins also have a separate effect. If you collect 4 dragon coins before you get to the final room, or is it 3? No, it's 4. Yeah, if you collect 4 of them before you get to the final room, here we have to wait, because otherwise we get the hidden exit. Yeah, if you get the 4 dragon coins, then the final room will have a P-switch in it, and also the final dragon coin. So you'll be able to get a 1-up, and you'll be able to get another cape. Because if you take the P-switch through the goal, then it will turn into your current power-up, which is a cape. So that's how you get 2 capes in Yoshi's Island, or Choco Island 2. Alright, this level is the hardest flyover in the game. Generally, flyovers are pretty easy, but this one really sucks. Alright, if you drop like 1 cape pump, then you're not going to make it over that pipe. And you need to do this level twice. It's really easy to mess up, and it's really easy to die when you miss out on your flight, so... This level actually requires you to get the secret exit as well in order to progress, and just like in Cheese Bridge area, the secret exit is behind the regular exit. This one's a bit more overt, though. There's some signs near the end of the level that point you in the right direction. And the exit's placed really high up, so it's like pretty easy to fly under it, and that's not good. Yeah. Oh, okay, there's land here, we're good. That's why I say this is a hard flyover. It's really easy to mess up. Yeah. I'm gonna go back and grab a cape here, because I can. I will have to get Yoshi in order to do it, though. Don't do that. Alright, should be good. There's the cape. Oh, I may want to get rid of Yoshi. I guess I could have done it in the other level as well, but it's nicer to just be able to take off immediately. Alright. Attempt number 2. There we go. Now I want to fly over the gold tape. You can go under or
I'm
over.
wondering, how comfy is it with all those stuffed animals next to you?
Well, the stuffed animals are fine. I'm not too thrilled about the flies, though. There's a lot of flies in the venue. We're in kind of a wooded area. There's been some wasps as well. That was a bigger problem last year, but this year there's flies for some reason.
We have an electric fly swatter over here.
Yeah, I don't think I'll be able to use it while playing the game.
We can use it for you.
No,
On you.
that's fine. This is a really hard level. Unfortunately, I messed up the start of it. It looks really swaggy when you get it, but it's also really hard, so... Unfortunately, not able to do it. So we're just gonna keep on trucking. Second part of this is pretty free. Now that I've said that, I'm probably gonna mess it up, but... We'll see. Yeah, this is good. Yeah. It's fine. There's nothing that can hurt me anymore. Oh, there's this guy, I guess. He's not very threatening. What is with these fireballs? Are you kidding me? Reznor is one crazy guy. Like, the other one was also impossible to dodge, but that one somehow didn't hit me. But this was just ridiculous. I mean, come on. He just immediately shoots me right in the face. What a dude. Alright. This level looks really cool, in my opinion. Just flying through the cave. There we go. Booyah. Oh, nice bounce. That's pretty cool. Alright. Yeah, I really like that level. It's one of my favorites. I have a tendency to forget how to do the ending, though. I know now, so... This level's kind of weird. It's really short if you go into the bonus game. We're gonna need Yoshi for later. Alright, nice, got flight there. That's actually kind of tricky. I'm not able to do it consistently. Alright, and with that, we'll be going to Wendy's castle. This is a hard castle. Hope I can do it properly. That's called Crusher Skip. You're not normally able to damage boost through those crushers, but using the buzzsaw, you can just barely manage it. Here you'll see, like, they just stop you. So you can't really go through them. Alright, nice. That's good. Give me that, thank you. Now, Wendy is a boss fight that I really despise. So I hope it goes well. Ooh, that was close. Ooh, almost got hit there, alright. We good. It wasn't the greatest RNG, but... made it through. Yeah, I still have both capes. It's really easy to lose capes in the final portion of the game. Luckily, there are some backups. I'm mainly worried about getting to the final level with the cape.
So we have time for one quick donation.
Sure, we're watching Mario clean up the place.
Ricold says, so safe, and donates 10 euros.
So safe. Yeah, that's coming up, actually. The orb level. I mentioned the orb earlier. The orb is the item that you can get in your item box with a glitch and instantly finishes the level. This is the place in the game where the orb is located. This is the only level with an orb. For some reason, in this game, you touch the orb and then the level finishes instead of just having a goalpost or a keyhole. It's quite strange. So here I'm going to try to despawn a boo ring. Oh, I might have to screen scroll. Pretty sure I will have to, but that's fine. Doesn't lose too much time. Yeah, definitely. Alright. So normally there's a boo ring here at the top. Now there's only going to be one instead of two. Alright, there we go. So the way that works is that because of the Boo Swarm being on screen, the Boo Ring disappears because the game just doesn't have enough resources to make the Boo Ring appear. The game can only draw so many sprites. And orb. That's the orb. The orb meme is pretty funny. I forget who it is, but a longtime runner of this game had a PB where he was silent the entire way through, except where he collected the orb, and he just went orb like really close to the microphone. So that's why it's kind of become a meme. It's pretty funny. It may have been Auth, I don't know. Oh, that sucks. Okay, we can get up here. Alright, yeah, this level is pretty straightforward. Oh, wow. Heck. Alright. So yeah, we're in the final world now. There's a bunch of pretty tricky levels here. This level, when you go for the regular exit, has a really hard trick. I'm not going to be doing it, but it's like right at the end of the run. Right now, we're just going to be getting some Yoshi wings that are right here. Put there by the developers, because you're not able to get through this section with Yoshi. It's too tight. But yeah, we want to keep Yoshi. So we'll be using him in a bit. And take care of the final ghost house of the game. I can try and do a trick called Sexy Slide. If I get it, you'll see why it's called that. Sexy. I really like that trick. It's so satisfying to pull off. You're normally supposed to, like, lead a coin snake up there and then turn them into block. Oh, that's the wrong flight. You then turn the coin snake into blocks with a P-switch. And then you just either run through a small Mario or you duck through the hole. But yeah, that ghost house is very short no matter what exit you go for. As long as you know how to do Sexy Slide. Alright, this level is really tricky to get through without losing Yoshi. Losing Yoshi is not a big deal. It'll just lose like a few seconds. But yeah, obviously prefer to keep him. This last section is hard. Alright, we did it. So the reason that that's hard is that when you let go of jump while you're hovering with Yoshi, thank you, he doesn't immediately drop down. Like Mario's little cape flapping animation has to finish first or something, I think. So it's like kind of random when he actually starts dropping, which makes it like really hard to, oh heck, that's not good. That's fine. That's fine. We didn't save Yoshi after all, but luckily his brother's right here. Yeah, this is why I said that it's not a big deal if you lose Yoshi. Yoshi can eat fireballs. He won't die from a little lava. Don't worry about him. Indeed. Ah, it didn't work again. Okay, so that funny thing that I wanted to show off earlier when I was entering a keyhole with Yoshi is that while the keyhole is opening, if you spit something out with Yoshi, in this case the key, then sometimes it'll make the spitting out sound like super like low pitched and elongated, and it sounds really funny. I wanted to show it off, but it didn't work. So heck you, game, for spoiling my fun. This is another level that I really like. Valley of Bowser has a lot of cool levels. And Yoshi stays alive. He gets to stay in the cave where he came from. Alright, time for the final Koopaling castle in the game, and it's also the hardest one, mainly because there is an RNG element. Namely, there's another Magic Koopa, and you can't manipulate this one. So let's see how we do. Oh wow, that's not good. He'll be back. Magic Koopas respawn, unfortunately. There he is. Should be able to kill him here. Yeah, okay. That's good. Alright, we made it through. It wasn't particularly fast, but it's fine. Alright, that takes care of Larry. Best Koopaling, IMO. Oops. Sorry about that. Alright, final castle cutscene. Mario's pretty OP. If he could have just picked up the castle, then I don't know why I have to run through all the levels, but whatever. I guess he had to get Yoshi out first. Alright, so we're going to be going back to Valley of Bowser 2, and we're going to be tackling the sandbar. Now, really good runners will do several variations of sandbar clip, which is a 2-frame trick where if you mess it up, you die. So, and it's right here at the end of the run. So you can imagine a lot of people don't go for it. But yeah, if you want to get a really good time, you pretty much have to because it saves an insane amount of time. That's risky, but we made it. Mario's hitbox when he's ducking is a lot smaller than it looks, thankfully. But yeah, so in that situation where you're about to get crushed by the ceiling, if you are ducking and then spin jump at the right moment, you will actually clip inside of the sandbar, which is this yellow thing. You can do that in 3 different spots. Each one saving less time than the last one. But yeah, there are people who have gone personal bests with the triple sandbar clip, I think. And it's just insane. Like, that's such a hard trick to be doing in a run. Alright, and that's the last secret exit in the game. And this is actually the last exit. Bowser's Castle doesn't count as an exit, but, you know, we still complete it for the sake of finishing the game. And it's a doozy of a level, let me tell you. Let's see if we can get it somewhat cleanly. Fly in between these crushers. Don't want no mushroom, thank you. Alright. And then we get one final Reznor fight. Let's hope he's nice for once. Okay. I've had to, like, take it safe on all of these Reznor fights. It's crazy. But we didn't lose any of our capes, so I'll be able to do cape kill on Bowser. which is the fastest strat of dealing with Bowser, so. Let's do it. So this is the back door. If you go into Bowser's Castle through the front door, then you need to go through a bunch of rooms before you get to Bowser, and then you end up here eventually. But yeah, this is like a really short room, and it has the back door also has a midway tape, which the regular version does not have. So there's a big advantage to come here through the back door. All right. I'm gonna be doing cape kills, so Bowser's gonna be throwing out these Mecha Koopas, and I'm gonna be trying to jump on them like immediately as he throws them, so that he immediately gets hit. Alright, I lost one of my capes, but that's fine. The first phase is actually the hardest. I shouldn't mess up the other two. Alright. I think we're good. You want to keep this guy alive. If you don't mess with him for a while, then he'll start walking around. So you want to keep like kicking him around a bit. And then we're actually going to leave him alone here. I guess I can pick up that mushroom. It doesn't really matter. Alright, so now I want to do something called ball skip, which is why I brought this Mecha Koopa with me to this phase. Bowser normally throws out 2 of those balls, but if I hit him as he's about to throw out the second one, then he'll skip it. So now he'll immediately throw out some more Mecha Koopas, and we get to hit him again. All right, only one more phase. Third phase is the easiest, since we don't have to worry about anything like ball skip, so we can just throw this guy straight at him at the start of the phase. Time is going to be when Peach appears, which is a few seconds after I defeat the boss. Alright, one more hit. And blammo. And time. All right, that was Super Mario World 96 Exit. I want to show off a really quick glitch. I don't even know if this is a glitch or if it's intended, actually, in the credits. If you hold up while you're entering the credits, then Mario will be doing some kind of clapping motion. It's pretty funny. The meme in the community is that your PB isn't valid unless you get the claps, so, you know, we got to do it. And then I'm going to reset and check if we actually got 96 exits, which isn't wholly unimportant. You know, just for verification purposes. I'm pretty sure I didn't mess up the route, so I think we're good. All right, there we go. There's the clapping Mario. 100 points for swag for Mario here. All right, let's check if we got all the exits. Fingers crossed. We did. All right. So that was Super Mario World. I will be back in about an hour and a half with another full completion of a Mario game. So tune in for that if you like some Mario. And yeah, have a nice day. And I'll see you when I see you.
All right. Thank you very much, Dutch J, for that incredible run of Super Mario World. Next up, we will have Grand Theft Auto Vice City any percent. But for now, we're gonna run some ads to stay here. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.